Vale, pues este es el Future Game Show. Ay, sí, ¿no? Vale. Voy a cambiar el título y esas cosas. Es un juego de robotillos, no sé de qué va esto. Creo que todavía no ha empezado como tal, pero no sé. Future Game Show. Vale. Vale, esto lo quito, lo voy cambiando. Future Games Show, vale. Hostia, perdón. Y esto es eventos, ¿no? Event online, ¿no? Joder. Eventos especiales. Actualizar información. Ya está. Pues ya estamos. Future Games Show. Ay, pues me voy a cambiar, espera. Ahí está. Vale. Voy a poner esto un poco así, un poco así. Vale. Hay que estar el contador ahí. Si todavía no ha empezado. Voy a ir cerrando el Yakuza y esas cosas. Ay, mira, si lo veis. Bueno, está. Espera, esto se pongo así. Vale, esto lo tengo que quitar. Joder, yo que no quería que se viera eso. Vale, ya está. Quito esto. Ahora, ya está. Se ve lo de detrás. Ahí está. Vale, está todo bien. Sí, ya quito esto aquí. Ahí está. Vale, se ve bien. Perfecto. Voy a poner la calidad que no está bien. Ya que se ve así de mal. Esto es como un streaming de un streaming, ¿no? Vamos a mirar si se ve bien en el streaming. Se los ha visto el escritorio, pero bueno.
To watch the full video, you can check out the Stumped YouTube channel after our show. Fling to the finished releases in the second half of 2021, and you and your friends can wishlist it on Steam today.
Vale, que sí. A ver, gestor.
Next up, I want you to imagine a strategy game designed by
medieval
monks. Yeah, medieval monks. I bet you weren't expecting to hear those words in today's show.
Vale.
This game is one of a kind, so let's take a look.
Hacemos así.
Imagine
así.
Of medieval books.
Vale.
A testimony.
Ahí sí le vi. Bueno, pues voy comentando y ya está. Voy a bajar esto un poco porque voy a reclinar, que no voy a jugar. Y ya está.
Why do rabbits have swords and fight against dogs?
The thing is, these illuminations are not decorations.
Maravilloso, ¿no? Algunos son de verdad.
Le rituel que nous ne connaissons pas, mais qui existait à l'époque.
Está curioso este por lo menos. Es un juego así de turnos tácticos. Inc. Culinati.
Let the battle commence.
Esto creo que ya lo presentaron hace tiempo.
PC later in 2021, so make sure to get it wishlisted on Steam. We revealed the first details of Lord of the Rings Gollum at the Future Games Show last August, and today we're excited to take our very first look at gameplay from Lord of the Rings Gollum.
World premiere.
World Premiere. Ah, es el de Gollum, ¿no? Que lo he presentado antes.
No, don't look at us. The precious is gone.
No está mal, ¿no? Pues... The Lord of the Rings. Un Gollum. Wishlist now. Joder. tampoco han mostrado mucho más. Sigue siendo una especie de teaser trailer.
And that wraps up our pre-show. From ninjas in feudal Japan to the darkest corners of Middle Earth. I hope you've enjoyed these sneak peeks and reveals. A huge thanks to Daedalic and all the developers who showed off their awesome titles. For updates on all of today's games, you can follow Daedalic Entertainment on Steam. I've been your host, Stephanie Panicello, and it is time for me to hand over to some other Resident Evil friends for the future game show. Take it away.
Evil Friends. Ya empezó, supuestamente esto, ¿no? Vale. Pues te lo dimos la otra vez. De PlayStation es también. Son los juegos que presentó Sony, ¿no?
Hello and welcome to the Future Game Show. I'm Nicole Tompkins, though you may know me as Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 3. And today, we have an absolute monster of a show for you. And if I've learned anything about monsters, it's that they're best tackled with a partner. So please join me in welcoming my co-host, Jeff Shine.
Hey, Nicole. And hey, everybody at home watching. My name is Jeff Shine. You might recognize me as Carlos Oliveira from Resident Evil 3. Nick, I feel pretty good about this. I feel like it's nice to get the team back together.
Este es el que hace de Carlos Oliveira.
Though, I mean, hopefully today's a little bit more even-handed, because I tend to do most of the heavy lifting, fighting Nemesis like 16 times, getting the subway back on.
Esta es la que hace de Jill, ¿no?
I think I had it pretty tough in Resident Evil 2. 2 words for you. Mr. X.
That's fair.
The important thing is that nothing bad can get us at the Future Game Show. So, over the course of the next hour or so, we'll be showing you guys gameplay and trailers from upcoming games for PC and console for 2021 and beyond, with some exclusive trailers and developer interviews.
World premieres, exclusive trailers, and surprises in store.
Let's kick off with our first world premiere, and I want you guys to wrap up. Get warm, because things are about to get chilly.
Esto aquí se ve bien, sí, ¿no?
World premiere.
Vale. A ponerlo aquí. Que si no, no veo. Ay.
So, any word on Kai or his supposed crash?
Aquí.
Don't, please.
Aquí. Es que no veo, si no.
Nobody's ruled it a crash
Ay,
anyway.
perfecto.
They said it just vanished.
I don't know, sis. Once is bad luck. Twice.
Me recuerda un poco al Firewatch,
that damn
¿no?
robot, always watching him. It's enough to drive anyone nuts.
Me recuerda un poquito a Firewatch.
Short drive, at least. Anyway, the whole thing smells off to me. Like a setup.
Oh God, you don't think he couldn't have done this on
Pero parece que es más
purpose?
como de supervivencia.
Who knows? I never did understand that kid. Not really.
Bueno, pero es la
At
historia.
least he's not alone
Lo
this
decimos solo
time.
una historia y ya está, no te mueres. Lo que
Oh,
vas avanzando,
Charlie and
¿no?
Amelia, though. They've been through so much already.
Maybe they're better off without him.
That's what Kai said the last time we talked, but
Let's face it, the little brother's pretty messed up. And who the hell knows where it really is right now.
Arctic Awakening. Una aventura episódica. Sí, suena más a que es una historia, ¿no? Más que un juego de supervivencia y tal. Eso que es un poco como Firewatch, que al final es más la historia. ¿Y qué pasa, Witty?
Hi, I'm James Simpson, director at Goldfire Studios, and we're working on a
Goldfire son
game
los de...
called Arctic Awakening. Arctic Awakening is an episodic narrative
Lo
adventure
pone,
game
he
about the
actualizado creo que el
survivors
título,
of
no
a
sé si está
plane
actualizado.
crash
El
in the
Future Game
unforgiving
Show, pues
Arctic
nada,
winter.
van a presentar juegos.
Their story is one
Antes,
of
como solo estaba el E3,
friendship,
pues era el E3 y ya está. Y algún evento por la BlizzCon y el Game Show, ¿no? En agosto y ya está. Pero ahora, pues, cada puta empresa hace su puto evento y se suman luego todas. Así que esto es de Daedalic, que ha presentado un juego de Gollum. Y pues van a presentar más juegos y pues otras editoras también van a presentar más juegos.
Today, we're really excited to share this exclusive gameplay from shortly after the crash. Kai is desperate to find Donovan, but the
Sí, a ver qué van
drone
sacando.
isn't about to
El
let
juego de
him just
Gollum es rollo
wander off
sigilo.
into a blizzard without first starting a
Evidentemente no.
fire. Part of Alfie's job is never
No va a haber
letting
mucha
Kai out of
acción.
his sight.
No es RPG, no te puedes poner armaduras con Gollum ni esas
Much of
cosas.
Arctic Awakening revolves around exploring the beautiful open world and uncovering the
O sea,
mysteries
os han sacado un
that
par
lie
de trailers.
However,
No.
the choices you make
De trailers estos cortitos.
don't make through your
Sería la
actions
polla,
and
¿no?
fully
Te
voiced
pones aquí,
conversations
full equip.
directly impact how Kai's relationships with the other characters evolve.
Gollum
Arctic
necromante.
Awakening is coming to PC, Mac, and consoles in 2022. Thanks for watching. Be sure to wishlist on Steam and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks again to James for that exclusive first look at Arctic Awakening. Okay, Jeff,
Arctic Awakening.
imagine being stuck in the same place in an endlessly looping cycle.
Oh, Nicole, that is my entire
Este es
2020.
Well, then you're gonna love
como
our
el
next
roguelite
game,
este que
as it's
sacaron
all
hiperrealista
about
con
breaking free.
muchos
Let's
tiros y
take a
mucha
look
magia
at
rara.
Returnal.
Este la presentaron hace poco.
Hello, my name is Mikael Habari, and I am the Biz Dev and Marketing Director at Housemarque. Currently, we're working on Returnal. Returnal, in a nutshell, is a fast-paced sci-fi shooter with roguelike elements. And as a new addition to Housemarque, we're adding a layer of narrative storytelling.
That can't be here.
Bueno, eso es un
In
roguelike, un juego que va
Returnal, you take
repitiendo
on the
las
role
runes,
of
que
Celine.
supongo que serán
Celine is
aleatorias.
a deep space
El gameplay
astro
es de
scout
shooter.
that crash lands on a planet called Atropos. On this planet, she quickly realizes that she's stuck in a never-ending nightmarish loop that always upon her death, she wakes up in the same place, but the world has changed and all the challenges that she has to face
No, parece que tal la
are
historia es
different.
importante, ¿no?
At the
Supongo que
focus
tendrá
of the
varios
game, we
finales,
have
fíjate,
a very
que cada vez que
tight
llegas al final es un
gameplay
final
loop
distinto.
where you dash, jump around, shoot at enemies with
No sé, mucha
lots of
psicodelia,
tentacles
¿no?
coming at you. There are also
Sí, ¿no? Sí.
a lot of bullet hell elements, so fast-paced
Bullet hell también ha
maneuvering,
dicho.
dodging, and running and gunning is the main focus of the game. But there are also lots of the storytelling layers that Celine finds out about in a non-linear fashion. So as you make your way through
Sí, la voz
Atropos,
tiene un poquito
you find
de
out
ánimo. Bueno, no había nadie en
who
el
your main
estudio que
character
tuviera una voz un
is,
poquito más.
what is the
Joder,
sort
que
of
parece que me voy a
deepest
quedar dormido, ¿eh? Me tomo
secret
un
that
vasito de
she's trying
Coca-Cola.
to answer,
Voy a
and
estornudar,
also
cuidado.
how this planet
No, no voy a
ties
estornudar.
into the whole bigger picture and who are actually the inhabitants
Es
of this
distinto, pero
mysterious
parecido.
planet. Overall, we at Housemarque are looking forward to bringing you a very exciting and frenetic
Es que dice very
shooter
exciting and
experience,
frenetic.
and Returnal will be hitting PlayStation 5
Tampoco que me
on
lo
April
exageres y
the
digas,
30th
es muy
this year.
excitante, muy
So looking
frenético.
forward to having the game out
Pero
there.
coño,
Hope you
que me
enjoy.
lo crea, ¿sabes?
Everything has changed.
Y de repente es un Survivor horror, ¿no? ¿Te imaginas? Returnal. Yo no lo voy a jugar, no me llama en plan ni la estética, ni el tipo de juego, ni nada, pero oye, no parece un mal producto.
Thanks to Housemarque for taking us through the game. Returnal is coming exclusively to PlayStation 5 on April 30th.
Uy, un eructo.
Our next game is a love letter to JRPGs, set in a world where the past and the future collide on screen. But here in present day, we've got a world premiere of the newest trailer.
Coño. Oye, visualmente mola, mira, Pablo Iglesias. A Julia Walken Time Mate. Joder, qué colores, ¿no? Menú a lo persona. Bueno, no sé, a la persona porque es el más famoso. Lo mismo había otro de antes, pero... Joven pero sabio. Joven pero sabia.
As am I. And while my powers have led to my youthful appearance, yours are the gift to see possibility.
Las... Sí, verdad, tiene un poquito ese toque, ¿no?
Who are you supposed to be?
Hello.
A ver, visualmente mola, pero no sé. JRPG, yo lo siento, pero no sé. Esto es para Mario. Bueno, hay una rana que habla, Cuidado.
I have been keeping an eye on you for some time now. I suspected you had been chosen, my dear. It appears I was correct.
This will serve as a good opportunity for me to demonstrate my capabilities. I am certain I was created with a purpose. I wish to discover what it was.
Intensito, ¿no?
We'll have time for your banter.
Medio edgy.
Let's move forward.
Hold on. You have a talking frog, and you didn't mention it? A talking frog is like in my top 5 animals I want to meet.
Este personaje no me gusta. Es un mundo de personajes. Pues se mola de la armadura. Y eso también está guay. Coño, qué bicho. Es lo mismo, mucho color, demasiado color.
Chris Tales is coming to consoles and PC in July this year.
Now, back in 2015, Axiom Verge blew us away with its retro Metroidvania action. Axiom Verge 2 is bigger and better, and the work of just one developer. So prepare to feel very lazy in comparison.
Hello, I'm Tom, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my upcoming game, Axiom Verge 2. But first, a quick trip down memory lane. For anyone not familiar with the first Axiom Verge, here's a very brief synopsis.
Tengo el
The
1.
story was a sci-fi adventure in which you play as Trace,
Tengo el 1.
a scientist who winds up in the world of Sudra. His mind is preserved by machines, and every time he dies, his memories are transferred into a new, cloned body. It's a love letter to some of my favorite games growing up, including Metroid, Blaster Master, Contra, and many more.
Contra, sí, Metroid Contra.
When I crafted the story, I made sure to think deeply about the entire universe of Axiom Verge.
Ya ves tú.
How did it come to be? How was it related to our world? I ultimately decided to break the full story of the Axiom Verge universe into multiple parts, with multiple perspectives, each intended to be its own game. And now, the next chapter is ready to be revealed. I don't want to spoil things too much, but most of Axiom Verge 2 is set before the events of Axiom Verge 1. But they're each standalone, complementary experiences, so you can play them in either order. In Axiom Verge 2, you play as Indra, the mysterious billionaire behind the worldwide Globe 3 conglomerate. Hiding in Antarctica is what appears to be an ancient, alternate Earth, complete with mountains, lakes, deserts, and the ruins of a civilization. But you get the feeling that something else is lurking just past the fringes of reality, waiting to pull you in. Although Axiom Verge 1 and 2 flesh out different parts of the same overall universe, their mechanics are quite different. The games share the same DNA, and fans of the first game will definitely feel right at home in this one. But make no mistake, this isn't just an iteration of the gameplay you saw in the first game. It is a complementary piece of the overall puzzle that is Axiom Verge. Now, it would be customary in a developer commentary to go into lots of detail about all the new and different mechanics and introduce new enemy types, bosses, and weapons, but I'm really hoping to avoid spoilers here. Even mentioning that there are spoilers is itself a spoiler. But one thing that has not changed is that there are tons of hidden areas for you to explore and mysteries to find. So if you really like the feeling of figuring out deeply hidden secrets, I think you'll love Axiom Verge 2. Be sure to keep an eye out for Axiom Verge 2 when it launches on the Epic Games Store and Nintendo Switch this spring.
Thanks again to Tom for that guided tour. Axiom Verge 2 is due out on PC and Switch later in 2021.
This next game is what I'm all about. 60 ninjas enter. Only one ninja leaves.
Are you going to be that one ninja?
If I study this exclusive gameplay,
Juego de ninjas en 2021.
Behold, Naraka, Blade Point.
Ojo. 24 Entertainment. Naraka. Joder. A ese también creo que es... Se llegó a ver algo en el E3 o algo, en el E3, en el Summer Show, no sé qué hizo aquí. O no, hola tú. Qué guapo, ¿no? Sí, a ver, lo del ganchito al final lo tiene el Monster Hunter, lo tiene Sekiro. Parece que es una mecánica al final que se va a repetir en muchos juegos. ¿Qué movida es eso, tío? Ah, pero que es multijugador. ¿Esto es multijugador o qué coño es esto, tío? Es que se ve así todo pixelado. Esta es la calidad al máximo, ¿vale? La de retransmisión. Qué pena que se da tan puta mierda, tío. Joder. Yo lo estoy viendo como el puto culo. Hostias, Yasuo este con pistola. Es como PvP esto, ¿no? Mata a Johnny, tío. Johnny. Creo que está en la prota o algo porque visualmente mola mucho más que los otros. Bueno, ¿no? Eso está muy OP. Hay como bosses aquí también, no sé de qué va esto. Bueno, pues no sé de gameplay, no sé de qué va, pero... Joder, vaya hostia. Ah, que no es que haya bosses, sino que es de transformas. Uy. Qué mal.
Naraka Blade Point is developed by 24 Entertainment and is due to grapple hook on the PC this coming summer.
Next up is an open-world action adventure that took Kickstarter by storm back in 2019. And once you've seen it in action, you'll understand why.
De momento no hay nada que quiera
Here's
jugar.
Weston Tracy
Lo
with
digo,
an
pero bueno,
exclusive
yo qué
new
sé.
look at Savior.
El otro que no pinta mal.
Hi, I'm Weston,
Hola,
the
Weston.
director of the
O
upcoming
Weston,
action
o como se
adventure
llame.
game Savior. In Savior, you play as Sam, a stranger with no possessions and no memory. As you explore, you'll discover your origin and your place among the characters you meet. You'll have to either battle, evade, or persuade your opponents into joining you
Bueno,
in order to
un poco de
rebuild
rol
the
en
broken
2D,
world of Arcadia. At its core, there are three things that make Savior special.
A ver,
First
el
is the
combate.
combat system. It was inspired by playing years of Punch-Out on the NES. So you and many of your opponents have the ability
Parece
to
bastante
strike,
ágil,
dodge,
¿no?
and parry,
En el sentido que no es
adds
como la
realistic
típica cosa
strategy
que
not really found in the genre.
haces
Opponents
una,
strike fast,
una habilidad
but
o
they all
una
telegraph their
acción
strikes, so you'll
y la
learn their
animación es
attack
como
patterns
súper
and
lenta y
surely
tienes que
best them
esperar, hay
over time.
delay y hacer otra.
The
Aquí es
early
como muy
enemies
pum,
don't
pum, pum.
block so well, so you can kind
Que
of
se gira
match your way
rápido.
through. But as you progress, you'll need to watch for telegraphs and
Parece
time
bastante
your
fluido
dodges,
todo.
blocks, and counters carefully.
¿No? Se
Things
ha
get dicier
agachado,
when two
atacado, ha
opponents
saltado.
attack at once. They'll always try
Se
to
ve todo
surround
bastante
you, and
bien.
it's best not to let them. Next is movement. Sam runs and jumps like many other 2D action game characters, but she does much more.
Coño.
With our addition of parkour, especially the ledge grab, she bounds through the terrain with
Hostias,
a
qué
neat
guapo.
and satisfying fluidity.
Buenas noches,
Dozens
Mark,
of
¿qué tal?
animations and movement commands make movement a standout feature. Just running around is
Joder, me está gustando por cómo se ve de fluido el movimiento, Da gusto verlo. Da un gustazo verlo. Y un pixel art bastante curioso. ¿Cómo quieres que te llame, cariño?
Any who oppose the creed are banished and dropped into the depths of the planet. They are known as the Fallen. But the Fallen survived their banishment. They explored their underground home where they thrived.
Lol, qué rayada esto, ¿no?
But the Chosen and the Fallen have been divided too long. It's up to you to reunite them.
Pues fíjate que al principio no... Que al principio no me llamaba, digo, bueno, un jueguito más tal, pero hostia, este... Si el movimiento se nota tan bien como parece, ya solo merece la pena. Vale, pues te llamo cariño, no te preocupes.
Savior is coming to PC and Switch in winter 2022. Our next game opened the very first Future Game Show and had us itching to see more ever since. Please welcome Team Kill Media with a new slice of action.
Un bombero con escopeta.
Horror shooter, Quantum Error.
The following footage is a whip. Team Kill Media. Unreal Engine. Bueno, esto es un juego de testosterona pura, ¿no? Es decir, ya solo la portada. El Savior ese me gusta el Savior ese. De momento, de lo que ha salido, lo que jugaría. Es Doom, pero no es Doom. Júpiter. Hombre, se ve que te cagas. Ay, por favor, qué desagradable, señor. ¿Para qué sales? Gente más fea. Hola, hola. Es como Doom, pero no, ¿no? Esto. Pero lo veo como muy lento, ¿no? Fíjate, todo lo fluido que era el otro juego, que era de píxeles, y este lo veo súper tosco. Como muy lento, muy... boom. Es como un Doom, pero con sueño. Como cuando te acabas de levantar y tal. Esos giros de cámara nunca me han gustado mucho. No soy muy fan de eso, pero bueno. Me recuerda un poco a Dead Space también, los bichos ahí con las cuchillas en las manos. Es un poco Dead Space, tal vez, más que Doom. Un híbrido entre los dos. Es que me recuerda a los dos. Sí, Dead Space. Esto es como más de miedo, ¿no? Más que de... ¿Lo ves? Es que es como, mira, viene andando. Bueno, pues lo voy titulando tranquilamente, con la calma. La pistolita. Que viene el cacharro ese. Joder, por favor. Qué desagradable, ¿no? El señor Tortilla ese en el techo. Se ha quedado todo colgado. Hola. Qué asco, da todo como mucho asco, ¿no? Como... Es incómodo. Me estoy viendo como me siento incómodo. Pero es que eso lo veo lentísimo. Como, bueno, ya está, ¿no? Como... Déjame en paz, señor. No venderá a algún hijo puta cuando estás con la máquina, ¿no? Hola. Qué incómodo todo este vídeo, no sé. Ay, qué susto. Es un juego de miedo esto realmente, ¿no? Qué mal. Hola. ¿Pero qué hace? No entiendo nada. ¿Por qué este señor del señor ese con los pinchos ahí? Venga. Ya no viene. Dale. Va a haber susto, va a haber susto. Me estoy poniendo tenso. Se va a girar y va a haber... Joder. No me está gustando este juego, ¿eh? Quantum Error. Muy desagradable todo. ¿Y por qué eres un bombero? ¿Y por qué eres un señor fumando? No sé, como muchas cosas mal. Claro, es que tú ves esta portada y dices, pues un juego de acción así, alguno, y no, es como Dead Space y da miedo, me gusta. Este parece más bonito.
Here's the newest trailer for Of Bird and Cage.
Product not yet rated.
Bueno, pues no. Lo es bonito. Joder. Bueno. No entiendo nada. ¿Que eres un hombre lobo o qué? ¿Plataformeo mal? Joder, la droga, tío. Sí, la banda sonora está bien. Sí, a ese estilo que le quieren dar, lo de los gráficos, al final, bueno, es una decisión que tampoco tiene por qué estar mal. A mí no es que me guste especialmente, pero tiene su cosa. No he entendido nada de qué va el juego. Parece que se juega a dobles, ¿no? We can
exclusively announce that Of Bird and Cage launches for PC on May 20th and PS4, Xbox One, and Switch later this year. You can wishlist the game right now on Steam. Our next game is all about the power of cooperation.
Una rana grande. Algo como la Bella y la Bestia. Pues puede ser, la verdad, que sinceramente no clue de qué iba el juego ese. El pájaro de la jaula, sí puede ser. Yo quiero un juego de ranas. Este tiene que estar guay. ¿Me maltrato o algo? Sí, pues este es más. Coño. Este la ha liado, no sé qué ha dicho hace poco. Este creo que se quejaba de que la gente no terminaba los juegos.
Actually, what we do at Hazelight is actually quite unique. What I mean by that is that we're creating co-op experiences that are written and designed from the beginning, from the start, like that. You do have co-op games out there, but none that are created like this in a narrative way. These are not drop in, drop out, which means that we can.
Es un juego para jugar en pareja.
Unique experiences.
Supuestamente son una pareja, son un padre y una madre que discuten, están discutiendo mucho y la hija como que desea que se lleven bien. Y de repente acaban convertidos en, pues, como en muñecos y tienen que cooperar para pasar las siguientes pruebas. El juego va de eso, de cooperar entre dos personas para avanzar.
Sometimes the connection could be metaphoric connection, like we have a section where you're playing as a piece of magnet. That's a metaphor for attraction. So whatever happens in the story will be reflected in the gameplay. Even an example like this, in this case they are in a tree and the male character, the clay character,
uno tiene un imán rojo, otro tiene un imán azul. Cada uno va por una parte.
So right now the squirrels that live in that tree are in war with the wasps, and you actually use the squirrels' high-tech weapons to take out the wasps.
Claro, uno echa la resina explosiva, el otro la explota.
And he can shoot sap, and when you combine those, you create an explosion. So again,
Entonces tienes que jugar combinado con la otra persona.
kind of connects to the story. That's why I keep saying whatever you meet in the story, whatever happens, you'll be playing it. This is just some example. What you're seeing here is just the mechanic for this level, and you will be doing different things for every level you play, and whatever happened in the story, you will be playing it.
Sí, a ver, este tío hizo un juego, no me acuerdo cómo se llama ahora, pero era de dos tíos que estaban en la cárcel. Y también se juega con otra persona y cada uno interpretaba un tío. Y a veces que tenías escenas conjuntas y otras escenas por separado. Y como cada uno llevaba la historia de cada uno. Y las peleas y todo también. Y ahora pues digamos que es un juego cooperativo. O sea, es un juego que es full cooperativo. Que en el Rebel 2 creo también, ¿no? Tenía con el cooperativo. Porque el bichillo rojo, el primero, pero luego sale el rojo y el azul.
It's going to be such a wild ride to play this game. It's going to be such a unique experience from the beginning to the end. And it's going to be a joy and adventure. I can't wait to look at some reactions when the players stream this and play this, because I know there will be definitely some really cool reactions, especially on some scenes, and especially one scene that I think is gonna be quite special.
Sí, ¿no? El 2 es para unir con el cordón. Sí, pues esto, claro. Pues tiene como muchas mecánicas todo de cooperar. Pues aquí uno es el mago, el otro es la guerrera.
PS5,
parece.
Xbox One, Xbox X, Series X, and I don't know. But not Switch for now. We don't have any plan for it now. Who knows in the future, maybe. But other than that, all future console, the next gen.
Está un poco colgado este pavo, como podéis ver. Es que no recuerdo cómo se llama el juego que hizo de los dos tíos en la cárcel. ¿Cómo sale ahora? Estoy fatal. Toda la cabeza hoy como muy embotada. Me parece que Switch no.
Our next game is like Cyberpunk meets Sherlock Holmes as you crack cases in virtual
Es como si Cyberpunk se juntara con Sherlock Holmes, es decir, es un juego con bugs. Un juego de Sherlock Holmes mal hecho. Mira, World Premiere. Esto es nuevo.
It's a strange profession. Game deck. You're neither a player nor a detective.
Futurista, ¿no? Vale, vale.
You know the rules and how people break them. How they leave a digital trail. And there is always a trail. A flaw in the source code.
Dinosaurio.
Backdoors used by cheaters.
LOL.
Anonymity skins used to cover up unpopular activities. All can be found. All can be traced. With a lot of skill and a little bit of luck. Sometimes more than a little. Because there are surprises, even for a game deck. But in the end, you keep your eyes on the prize. The trail never gets cold. And so the game is always on.
Game deck, oye. No sé muy bien de qué va, pero por lo menos la premisa no pinta mal. La demo mañana. Uy, demo mañana. Estoy muy interesante probar la demo esa. Game deck. Ah, mira, pero luego de grafiquillos era un poquito así. Sutil. No, está bien, está bien.
Nicole, question. Do you think you got what it takes to be a firefighter?
Yes.
You want to maybe test those skills out in a game before trying anything dangerous?
Also, yes.
Well, then let me introduce you to Ember.
Are you ready to join the gig economy? Become your own boss. As a firefighter, food delivery person, or a courier, Ember hits consoles with cross-play functionality. For up to 4 players. Rescue together.
Vale.
Escape together. deliver together. Boss fight together.
¿Qué coño,
and
tío?
Salvage together. Risking your life for money has never been more rewarding. Ember, launching summer 2021.
Ember is out now on PC and Stadia,
bueno, mira,
and
que
is
le
coming
gusta
to
que lo
consoles
disfrute.
later this year.
¿Qué vamos a decir?
Our next game takes one of the best detective adventures of recent years and makes it prettier and puzzlier, yes, that's a word, than ever before. This is Kathy Rain, the director's cut.
Ah, Kathy Rain. Director's cut. Tengo el Kathy Rain normal.
Hi, I'm Ariel Siegel, and I am delighted to be here at the Future Game Show to talk to you about Kathy Rain, director's cut. This is a game that excites me a whole lot because, well, first, I play Kathy in it, but also because the director's cut is an even better version of the original game that launched in 2016. For those of you who have been missing out, let me fill you in on the details. So, Kathy Rain is a point-and-click adventure set in the 1990s. It's the story of a strong-willed journalism major, that's me, who is forced to confront her troubled past as she investigates the mysterious death of her recently departed grandfather. Armed with her motorcycle, a pack of cigs, and a notepad, Kathy delves into a local mystery surrounding her hometown that takes her on a harrowing journey of emotional and personal turmoil.
Al final es un
The
poco por la
director's cut
narrativa y tiene
features
un
an
pixel art
extended
bastante
story
guapo.
with more puzzles to solve and new areas to explore. There's also an expanded and remixed soundtrack, cool new bike designs to unlock, controller support, and more. It's been almost 5 years now since Kathy was first shared with the world, and we've taken everything we've learned to give you the most complete realization of Kathy's journey yet. I, for one, love being a part of this project, and I can't wait for you all to get on the Catmobile when we launch this fall on Steam for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Mola bastante. La historia, empleo de visual, adicional puzzles, amor. Bueno. Tengo el normal.
Thanks to Ariel for showing us Kathy Rain, the director's cut, which is coming to PC later this year.
Now it's time for a sneak peek at what's in store from our pals at Team 17. Oh, how many hours have I spent playing worms over the years?
I once fought giant mutant worms in a sewer.
It's a very different vibe, Nicole. It's a very different vibe.
Team 17. Worms, ¿no? Ah, bueno, este es el Overcooked. Qué juego más estresante, ¿eh? El Broken Sword. Sí, claro, el Broken Sword también. El Broken Sword es como más aventura gráfica, ¿no? No es tan point and click, pero bueno, sí, va un poco del rollo. Que al final son juegos que es por los puzzles, la narrativa y el arte. Eso. Marita Boy, ¿eh? Boy. Tecno Sword. World Rumble. Puto Worms, tío. King of Seas. ¡Jo! Cimesia. Muy edgy boy, pero bueno, no sé. No está mal. Epic Chef. Le gustan los juegos de cocinar, ¿no? En Team 17. Puto coño cabezones, tío. Poco Live. Otro juego de gestión, ¿no? Una especie de Animal Crossing. Totalmente, además, ¿no? Los vecinos son burros, decoran la casa. Animal Crossing mal, sí. Ready or not. Ready or not, te vamos a secuestrar. ¿Vale?
Hello? God damn, is this thing on? Oh, it is? Good. This is the cult leader. I'm interrupting this broadcast to invite you all to submit to me. Submit your application to become my new cult architect when, honey, I joined a cult enters Steam early access.
I joined a cult. ¿Qué cojones, tío?
We are not a dangerous organization. In fact, we're all about the safe sex.
Sublime. Gestionar tu propia secta.
So come join the inner circle when, honey, I joined a cult.
Me gusta.
To Steam early access.
Maravilloso. Take my money.
That was a collection of games coming from Team 17 over the coming weeks and months.
For more info on them,
check out GamesRadar.com.
15 games in, and we finally get to fight some zombies in Back 4 Blood. You up for some co-op play,
Sí, Animal Crossing es más bonito que eso, bastante más bonito.
Faster than what I'm used to.
Yeah, you're right. Lucky for me, I've got
El otro era un
developers
poco
Turtle Rock
fatarro.
to show us the game instead.
El zombie, qué feo, ¿no? Está feo. Te vendo mis vecinos.
Getting out of here is the key to my happiness.
Everyone ready? Follow my lead if you can keep up.
Just try not to do anything stupid.
¿Eso que como el Left 4 Dead o qué? Bueno, era es que no lo he leído.
Hello, I'm Leanne Papp, and I'm the executive producer at Turtle Rock Studios. Right now we're working on Back 4 Blood, which is a first-person co-op zombie shooter that takes place after a catastrophic outbreak where most people have either died or have been infected by what we're calling the devil
Pues se ve de
worm.
puta madre.
In this game, you're
Ha
part of a
popeado ese
group of
zombie ahí,
veterans
pero bueno.
that we refer to as the Cleaners, who are ready to take the fight back
Que
to
disparar y
the
zombies,
zombies, which we call the
no. Joder, tú, pero es que son bolsas de sangre los putos zombies, ey. Mira, sales.
This is alpha footage that stars 4 of our 8 cleaners. We've got Walker, Evangelo, Hoffman, and Holly. And as you watch the footage, you're going to see that we have a lot of different kinds of ridden. We've got some base special
Sí,
ridden,
parece
like
como,
the
a ver,
tall
el
boy
rollo
and
de
the
que
stinger,
vas en
and
grupo
there are also
matando
mutated
zombies,
versions of
me
them
parece
as
como
well.
un poco más
But we've got something that's
serio, ¿no?
especially
Left 4 Dead tiene ese
special
toque
for
siempre
us
cómico
that
de
we're
coña.
very much into and very excited about, and we feel that this is bringing something new to the genre.
Uy,
We have our
¿juego amigo?
ogre. He is this massive mutated
Coño,
ridden
tú.
that rises from the ground, and in that moment you have to decide if you're going to face off against this tanky character or run away and face him when you're better equipped.
Oh, this is not good.
Disparar a la zona que brilla, sí. Pues el bicho está guapo.
We've got the elements that you want out in a cooperative zombie shooter, so you can gather up with your 3 friends and you're going to be taking out a bunch of ridden. But we're also adding some roguelite elements with our card system.
Roguelite elements. Joder, con el roguelite elements, tío. Que están muy bien los roguelite, pero si todos los putos juegos tienen roguelite.
So we should definitely talk about our game director as well as our card system. You're going to be familiar with how we start off this game. You're going to start in a safe room with 3 of your friends, and the game director is going to play what we call corruption cards. You get to know what kind of challenges he's going to throw at you and your team by looking at what these cards are. They might be things like Swarm of Bruisers or Ridden on Fire. And you then get to know exactly what it is that you're going to face. So after you see those cards, you're then going to be given a hand from a deck that you've built. And you need to decide what cards you're going to play. Coordination with your team is going to be super key here, as you can do things like improving the quality of items and weapons that are found in the world. You can make it so your team can carry more Molotovs or med kits, or you can even do something cool like your team gets a burst of health when you get in-capped. We're really excited to see what you and your friends do with your cards.
Gotta be something around here. There you are.
Puto.
Back 4 Blood is coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and PC. You're going to be able to play the game in the upcoming open beta on both PC and console. We're going to have more information on that soon, so stay tuned.
a mí los zombies nunca me han molado. O sea, oye, que ni fu ni fa. Back 4 Blood. Eso del Back 4 Blood y Left 4 Dead. Supongo que tiene algo que ver. Tiene algo que ver, me da a mí.
Here's the world premiere of the new cinematic trailer for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Tempestfall.
Mira, juego de Warhammer. Age of Sigmar es como el reboot que hicieron, ¿no? De toda su historia. Es lo nuevo.
Once mortal, we stood against enemies of order. Our souls, freed from the weakness of flesh, arrived at the gates of heavens. Shaped by righteousness, reforged in thunder, clad in living armor. We come down among lightning to protect the mortal realms once more. We are Sigmar's wrath manifest. In his name, we wage war! We are the Stormcast Eternals.
Hombre, mola, pero no sé de qué va.
You can step into the shoes of a Lord Arcanum when Tempestfall launches on Oculus and Steam this summer.
Verano, vale, pero no sé de
Jeff,
qué va.
You remember the hospital siege in Resident Evil 3?
Oh, how could I forget?
Well, this
Bueno,
next
que
bit
casi una
is a
hora,
little bit like that, except instead of zombies, I'm gonna throw loads of games at you.
Oh, that actually sounds way better.
Oh, estos son mucho más cookies, tío. Esto mola más. Mira el gorrino. Petito rosita. Creo que no, tiene que era de abrazar. Es como Pokémon Beat Stardew Valley, ¿no? The Wandering Village. Hostia, muy guapo. Hostia, va a ser un bicho ahí. Chulo, tío. Drive by. Corre, corre. Qué bonito este. Joder, este es un currazo, ¿no? No sé de qué va, pero madre. Fantasía. Otro JRPG. Combinar. Coño. Uf. Este me duele un poco, Top Romantic. Parece un juego de gestión así, ¿no? Es como un builder. Hola, qué guapo. Es un zorro. Fatal esas letras en el fondo blanco, No sé cómo se llama el juego. Everybody, one. Muy bien. Mudo. Hostia, esto, tío. Bueno.
For more information on all those great games, make sure to check out GamesRadar.com.
Now, if you're looking for something more melodic than the sound of Jeff's voice, you should check out our next game, The Longest Road on Earth. Bonus fact, this trailer contains an exclusive performance of one of the tracks in the game. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
I've been walking for a while, there's 100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go.
Es una ratona.
On the way, gotta try. Dream of baby feels alright.
Se ve de puta madre, ¿sabes?
I've been walking for a while, there's 100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go.
Me quiero ver que en un guitar había hecho algo en este juego, algo de sonido o algo así. finales. The Longest Road on Earth. Un juego con narrativa, con una historia así profundilla.
The Longest Road on Earth launches on PC later this year.
Our next game is an open-world survival simulator that put PC gamers through hell. Specifically, green hell. Here's an exciting new announcement from the team at Creepy Jar.
Survival Simulator. Coño, tú. Bear Grylls es el videojuego. Un poco de Forest. Me ha parecido, me ha recordado mucho de la historia esa distinta.
Can you survive green hell? Find out when it comes to consoles in June this year.
This next game starred in our Gamescom show and tasks 2 cooperative spies to break into top secret locations.
Well, then it's a good thing I've partnered with Jill Valentine, huh? Master of unlocking.
Here's the latest news for Operation Tango.
Oh, we gotta work together?
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh dear, this is a recipe for disaster.
What did you do?
Uy, este que es cooperativo así de pruebas.
I'm gonna do
it. Spy Adventure, ojo.
I'm nervous.
I'm in.
Ah, mira, y si lo compras, los amigos juegan gratis.
So, I'm gonna need you to suck it up, Buttercup, and put that passcode in.
Oye. No sé muy bien de qué va, ¿no? Pero no pintaba mal.
Coming up next, we take a trip into one of the deadly gauntlets of Oddworld Soulstorm. As series creator Lorne Lanning shows us what's in store in Abe's latest adventure.
Hi, I'm Lorne Lanning, co-founder and creator of Oddworld, and I'm excited to be here at Future Games Show to bring you this abridged playthrough from Oddworld Soulstorm. At this point in the game, we're on a mission to hijack a train that we're told is at Fat Station.
And so with each level, you get an introduction, usually of your goal happening in the background. And now we settle down to where Abe just entered into the scene. And now he needs to get to the Fat Station to hijack a train. And that should be up ahead. And now he's got a little bit of a journey through the world to get there.
Que los libera.
Okay, so now you're approaching.
Se ve bastante bien, mola.
And now you're approaching the Fat Station. So now you knew you had to reach the Fat Station. There's a train.
Pero es como visto mil gameplays de este juego ya, ¿no? O es que es otro. No entiendo. Es que ya como le estoy cogiendo tirria, no porque no me guste, sino porque es como es que siempre está en todos los putos eventos. Siempre hay algo de Oddworld.
And here you can get an overlook. And if we look in there. This is the tanks and the whole area we're going to have to get through. And now you're dealing with snipers. You're running across steam vents.
Oye, que te pilla. Ah, no.
I'm going to go down here. We wanted to get more of that sense of height and perspective and all that. And it also reveals secret areas that you wouldn't normally see where you can go collect goods and stuff.
Bueno,
we're not
hay
going to go
cajas
there right now,
abajo.
we're just going to continue on. And start going
Abajo se
into
puede
the
bajar.
tank field, we still got to
Qué bien
get to
hablar.
the pump.
Te ha pillado. Bueno.
So we can get to the train, so we can complete our mission, and then catch up with our buddies at the trellis area. Here's some classic Abe play where, you know, he's using steam zones to hide from the enemies, and they can't see. They're kind of blind in the steam zone. So using the old Oddworld logic, if you can't see Abe barely, then neither can the enemies. And this was a way that you could have traversed to get past this.
Cal, medium, high, ¿no? Este será como el sigilo. Bueno, ah, no, como está el muñeco.
But if you crafted up some inventory to this point, this would have been a stealth approach with no killing happening. This would be a little more not nice approach.
Que te pilla, que te pilla.
Where you might have used something a little more lethal. And that would be very nice, and you don't want to do that, of course. Oops.
Uy, que te quemas.
But it's a different way to solve the same problem.
Bueno, el medidor no sé de qué va. Vale, sí, vale. No está mal.
And along the way, we're hearing radio broadcasts.
Pero no me lo ha vendido esto,
Telling us more on the backstory, the propaganda of the world, what they're telling the common people versus what you know is actually happening in the game. So we play off of that during these elevator rides. And if you pay attention to them, you get a little more data on the backstory and what's happening in the world.
Si prestas atención tendrás más... muy bien. Gracias, que eso es nuevo. ¿Sabes? Que te metan un audio cuando estás esperando. Te lo llevas.
So now this is like a tower of hazards, and you're going to get more and more Mudokons to go through here with you.
Y te espera aquí, ¿no?
Try not to get them killed, or yourself. We cabled the world, and when these cables are pulled and activated, you'll see the pulses running. So it really helped with people understanding what the problem.
Vale, ya para que vaya por ahí. Bueno, vale.
In cases like this, you're getting more and more Mudokons following you through more.
Sí, pero como me estás explicando muy en profundo unas mecánicas que tampoco son nada del otro mundo, como lo suponía, es decir, lo me estás descubriendo aquí. Sí, vale, y te los matan, sí, eso ya hemos visto varias veces. Y se te han matado. Te llevas 2. Es un poco complicado, ¿eh? Sí, le han matado, vaya. No sé, ¿eh? Le estoy cogiendo un poco de tierra a este juego. Pero el hombre parece ser que se lo pasa bien, pues que lo disfrute.
And look at all my dead guys. But from here, this gets us up to the area of the train station where we can now access the train that will then lead us on our mission forward.
Dinámico, ¿eh? Dinámico, trepidante. No digo yo que no sea entretenido el juego, pero vamos. Esta presentación deja bastante que desear.
Oddworld Soulstorm is coming to the PS5, PS4, and the Epic Games Store April 6th.
PS5, y un diente de sierra que me llevaba...
The Epic Games Store and PlayStation 5 PS Plus members will be able to download the game at no extra cost.
Oddworld Soulstorm is coming to PC, PS4, and PS5 on April 6th.
First revealed at the Future Game Show last June, Serial Cleaners builds on the hit crime scene clean 'em up with 4 distinct cleaners and 4 distinct styles. Let's see a messier approach in our first gameplay reveal.
A ver, bueno, World Premiere. World Premiere. Me gusta más el World Premiere de Xbox, ¿eh? Joder, la psicodelia. Con el ketchup por el suelo. Que hay que limpiar la escena del crimen, ¿no? Es decir, ya están muertos. Eres como el señor Lobo, ¿no? Joder, qué agradable y todo. La charcutería. Stealth Action. Es decir, te llaman. Uy, que te ha pillado. Uy, y vas pateando por la sangre. Ah, y la vas chupando con la aspiradora. Hostias. Hombre, a ver, el concepto está bien. Me ha gustado, ¿eh? Que tiene que limpiar la escena del crimen. Vale,
Grab your mop and your rubber gloves because Serial Cleaners is coming to PC later this year. You can wishlist the game on Steam and Epic Store now.
In space, no one can hear you
Juego de
scream.
naves.
But neither can they hear you say, whoa.
Oye, ¿cuánto dura
Which
esto?
is exactly what you'll do when you see
Este
the
es más
amazing
corto,
things Frontier is doing in Elite Dangerous Odyssey.
Hello, I'm Gareth Hughes from Frontier Developments and I'm the
Vamos a ver.
designer on Elite Dangerous.
¿Por qué no se graba usted con un micrófono mejor y sin eco? Caballero.
Ambitious expansion for Elite Dangerous to date. For the first time in Elite's history, the Odyssey expansion will allow players to set foot on light atmospheric worlds powered by amazing planetary technology. Players will be able to disembark from their ships and explore these planets, discovering new settlements and organic life forms while taking on missions and engaging in intense first-person combat.
Joder, los tiros.
Today, we're really excited to share this exclusive footage of Apex Interstellar.
Welcome to Apex Interstellar, your gateway to the stars.
A shuttle service that will be available to all Odyssey players, allowing them to explore the galaxy in a totally new way. For a small fee, Apex Interstellar will let players book their own personal shuttle, complete with AI pilot, to take them between the ports and settlements in inhabited space.
Your shuttle is ready to depart. Thank you for choosing Apex Interstellar.
Players can even call a shuttle to pick them up directly from a planet's surface, just like you'd hail a cab. Additionally, we'd like to talk about how the release of Odyssey will give players the opportunity to experience the excitement, scale, and beauty of Elite Dangerous from a brand new perspective. Odyssey's boots-on-the-ground gameplay will add on-foot exploration, salvaging, bounty hunting, heists,
Es que no sé, me da la sensación de que los NPCs que aparecen estaban ahí porque te dan cosas y interactúan contigo y tal. Es que no está mal, que mola esta inversión de hola, ¿qué tal? No sé qué, venga, vete al hangar, vas al hangar andando, bajando, está tu nave ahí, la ves. Pero me recuerda muy Play 3, hasta los circuitos esos parecen los de las típicas misiones del GTA. Vamos, no me acuerdo del GTA San Andreas y del GTA 4. No sé si en el 5 también es así, pero bueno. Odyssey, Elite Dangerous. Bueno.
Thanks to Gareth for that look at the game. The Elite Dangerous Odyssey Alpha will be available on PC starting March 29th. Imagine what you could do with a machine that can read memories. That's the killer setup of Don't Forget Me, a new adventure game from the Moon Pirates and...
Most of my memories involve being chased by a giant mutant.
Oh, yeah. You remember that time the bug, laid eggs in you?
Ugh, we don't talk about it, Jeff.
Qué chulo, ¿no? Va sobre la memoria de las peñas, está guay. Están mejor los juegos que tienen rollo pixel art o gráficos más artísticos, incluso de conceptos, que los otros tienden a ser realistas. Al final es un juego de puzzles. Mira, me llama más la atención que muchos de los que hemos visto. Que el anterior, que tampoco pintaba mal. Pero este como que tiene una cosa distinta. El otro me parecía muy genérico. Esto que no identifico nada de la imagen. Una especie de capa con una cruz. Si el agua hierve, 17 grados, se quema el papel. A 593. Es un... That's when we come in. Oye, un juego de bomberos. Fire Commander, bueno, oye. Vale. Muy agresivo, pero me gusta. Cuidado.
We had no idea how it would change when they sent us directly to the front line and into the chaos. And then in the mud and drama of trench death, we learned how to survive. And how to choose between life and death. Because every saved life counts.
Mira, este puede estar bien. Es decir, si entra dentro de tratar más o menos bien la Segunda Guerra Mundial y ese tipo de cosas, puede estar muy guay. De reflejar cómo era, ¿no?, la guerra de trincheras y las relaciones que hay entre las personas y cómo lo vivían los soldados y los médicos. Supongo que es de lo que va. Eso puede estar muy interesante. Pero si se han documentado bien. Mira, este juego de Cookie.
Hi, I'm Mark Backler.
¿Qué tal? Mark Backler.
Sketchbook Games and the creative director of Lost Words Beyond the Page.
Lost Words Beyond the Page.
I'm Rihanna Pratchett. I'm a writer for video games,
Rihanna
film,
Pratchett.
TV and comics, and I wrote the
Que es la hija de Terry Pratchett,
Lost Words Beyond the Page, and I'm working on lots and lots of secret things.
At the moment, we're just putting the finishing
touches
to Lost Words for Steam, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Oye, mira.
So you play the game as Izzy, who is
un juego para chavalitos, incluso para que aprendan inglés, ¿no?
And she's just been given a journal for her birthday. She's always wanted to be a writer, so she starts writing. She has to deal with some
casi más educativo, ¿no? Para niños, no está mal, coño, vale para los videojuegos. Bonito parece. Historia.
We see her go not just on a journey through the pages of her diary, but also through the fantasy world that she's been writing about.
The story starts to kind of reflect what's happening in the real world. And we use things like the 7 stages of grief as art inspiration, as music inspiration, as puzzle inspiration. And it's basically, you know, fantasy is the lens through which we can examine the real world. And this is a very,
no está mal, me gusta.
kind of a very visual representation of that.
The two worlds in the game play into each other in a number of different ways. So the things that happen to Izzy in her real life end up having repercussions in the fantasy world. We also see these little post-it notes on the desk around the diary that sort of show the evolution of some of the characters that you'll later be bumping into in Astoria, and different ideas that Izzy has had. The game is split into like 8 main chapters. Each one of those begins in the pages of the diary and then transitions into the world of Astoria sort of halfway through. Lost Words is out on the 6th of April on Steam, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So you can jump onto Steam and wishlist it right now.
Thanks to Mark and Rihanna for that exclusive look. Lost Words comes to PC and consoles on April 6th, and you can wishlist it now.
In space, no one can hear you scream, but neither...
Whoa, Nicole, I already used that intro.
Oh, really? Our next world premiere is set in space, and it looks really spooky, so I thought, like...
Honestly, you had me at world premiere, so you could probably just cut it there.
Por favor, ¿podemos parar ya? Por favor. World premiere. Venga. Italian Games Factory.
In the second era of the
Ahora
human
cuento un pensamiento
empire,
intrusivo que tuve el otro día en la
sonic matter
ducha.
was discovered in the galaxy of Neteron. It was here that humans decided to build the Metal Mother facility to harvest the sonic matter, the most precious element in the universe. But it wasn't long before they discovered they were not alone.
Qué perturbador. Un juego de naves. Hombre, se ve distinto al típico juego de naves. Tiene así como toque psicodelia. Los bichos están guapos. Haunted Space. Bueno, no sé.
That was was our first look at Haunted Space, coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S sometime in the future. One Steam review describes our next game as Reservoir Dogs with more falling over.
Well, I guess I'd be Mr. Interested.
Reservoir Dogs.
Okay. It's time for guns, cars, and double-crossing galore in Cryptic Sea's truly unique Sub Rosa.
Pues que a mí este gráfico no me parece feo. Bueno, Devolver, a ver, Devolver. Bueno, por lo menos se mueve bien. Uf, estoy reventada ya, tío, por favor. Coño. Un disquete. Que está el equipo amarillo, ¿no? El equipo azul y este es el equipo gris.
Go time.
De putazos, ¿no? Rosa. Mira, esto, aunque tengas un gráfico así, está hecho así a posta, como que lo presenta un poco mejor que otros juegos, tío.
Okay, I hope you have your hankies ready as we return to one of the most emotional game series of recent years. Please welcome Zach Garris, Chief Creative Officer of Deck 9 Games, to give us a new look around Haven Springs.
Sí, ¿no?
They're definitely hiding something.
Alex,
La vida
I am Zach Garris. I am the Chief Creative Officer at Deck 9 Games and the Game Director of Life is Strange: True Colors. It's a brand new adventure in the Life is Strange universe. Coming off the heels of making Before the Storm, we wanted to explore, who we are as storytellers and what the franchise has to offer fans with new characters and a new setting, and we're really excited about it. Well, what do you think?
I love it.
Sí, me ha parecido que las caras están como en el valle inquietante,
Alex is a young woman
¿sabes?
who's just left the foster care system.
Estáticas,
she's had a very difficult childhood,
muy bien hechas
but she's
y
also
parecen de
now
verdad, y
about to
empiezas
start
escenas así
something new.
que no
Be
mueven
out on her
a...
own and
Pues esa
reunite with her
presión
older
de
brother.
al ir a abrazar
Alex is
esa
not like
sonrisa
other
con
people,
los dientes,
Alex
me da
has
como
a
cosa, ¿sabes?
supernatural sensitivity to the emotional states of others.
Sobre
And
todo
it's
en
not just the ability to
los
read
personajes que
or
son,
be
que son
aware
hombres,
of
¿no?
other people's emotions. If people around her are feeling
o por lo menos que son como muy
rage
secundarios,
or
por los que
grief
son secundarios y por eso
or
como que no
terror,
están tan bien definidos,
the emotion overwhelms Alex
y
and she
las
feels it
expresiones de
too.
emoción
It gives her an empathic connection with
están
that
hechos
person. It
con
gives her insight into what's
captura facial,
motivating whatever that person might be
queda
going
tan raro,
through.
o al
Up to
revés,
this
que
point in her
está hecho con una
life,
captura
this
facial
has been a
como muy
curse.
genérica. ¿Ves?
This
Esa
has
sonrisa,
alienated her from others. This has led
las
to
sonrisas,
behavior people around
esa
her
presa estaba muy bien.
don't understand and probably mostly condemn.
Hay veces que tiene como cosas
For Life is Strange: True Colors, we wanted
que no me llega a
to
cuadrar, ¿no? Entonces me saca un poco del
explore having more agency given to the player in terms of where they go, who they interact with, and the ownership that they can take over the story and over Alex's engagement with that town. And so we have built out a larger space than you typically see in a Life is Strange game. And I think we're very excited about the outcome and the result.
Alex, right? I'm Steph.
One of the most exciting components to Life is Strange: True Colors is that Steph returns as a character. She was someone we discovered while making Before the Storm, a character that became a fan favorite. We wanted to really take that character and do much more with her.
No sé,
and
me sigue
partly
haciendo
it's a
raro
desire to continue to honor the
ciertos
depth and richness of the universe overall, that this is an
lo veo muy
interconnected
antinatural.
place, and that you're going to see from time to time characters
Hay
from
veces que
other
sí está
adventures.
logrado, pero
I
todos los
think part of what's
protagonistas,
really
¿no? Aquí la
promising about the
protagonista
Life is Strange universe is its
no te da esa
breadth,
sensación,
its
pero el
depth, its
resto de
potential,
personajes
new stories, different walks of life. We're really shifting the franchise into more of an anthology series. And so rather than order the titles sequentially when they're not actually sequels necessarily, it made more sense to name each game according to what that story is and how that story is sort of participating in that larger universe. True Colors just fits for what Alex Chen's story becomes.
I'm glad you two met. Is this dude my best friend?
And this dude hands me the best beers?
When it comes to romance, Life is Strange True Colors offers players more choice than they've experienced in a Life is Strange game to date.
Es como, joder,
and we're
entiendo que no se pueden hacer así todos los personajes.
The kinds of relationships that you can develop throughout the whole town, and in particular the relationships that you can have with both Ryan and Steph, who are integral to the storyline and in the shape of how the player chooses to engage with them in that story can become
Hay ciertos momentos que sí se ven bastante naturales, que sí está bastante bien hecho.
Life is Strange True Colors will be available in September on current and next-gen consoles and PC.
True Colors.
Well, I'll be getting emotionally wrecked when Life is Strange True Colors launches in September for next-gen consoles and PC.
5 years ago, developers LKA wowed us with their psychological horror, The Town of Light. In 2021, they return with an all-new next-gen psychological thriller.
Psychological
Are you ready
thriller.
for Martha is Dead?
Martha is Dead. Joder, juego de miedo, tío, que muy tarde.
Will you tell me a bedtime story?
Not tonight. There's a
Uy, por favor, muy desagradable.
You should have been there, not her.
Oli. Esto es como en la Toscana, ¿no? Como les gusta los americanos la Toscana.
The one who is living, remember?
What do you say, Irene? Julia's dead. What are you babbling about?
Bueno, no, te acento francés. Pues es la campiña francesa, ¿no? La Europa de campo, básicamente, como lo que tienen. Martha is Dead. Oh, muy bien. Un juego de Yuyu, que ahora vamos a jugar ahí en Unión Europea o algo así.
Martha is Dead, published by Wired Productions, comes to PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC in 2021.
Do you ever look at the
Spoiler,
state of
¿no?
modern civilization and
Martha
think,
está muerta. Y al final
so much
descubre,
better
¿no?
than this?
Eso.
Yeah.
Mira, no querías un Qatar, pero esto lo parece.
Well,
Era un
time
city
to put your
builder.
money where your mouth is in Amplitude Studios' historical strategy epic, Humankind.
Mild violence. Me gusta el concepto de mild violence. Como violencia, pero no mucho.
Amplitude wanted to create these huge, amazing horror games. Games that would dust off the genre we love so much. In Humankind, you have
That's
one
Humankind.
main innovation, which is the ability to create your own civilization out of 60 different cultures.
The idea is that we give the
A
player
ver,
these
puede estar
historically
curioso,
accurate
pero al final
bricks, and
visualmente
they go and
a mí
build
no me
whatever
mola.
story they want to.
In history, we always had a group of people close to each other. With Diplomacy, we want to give you all these tools to be able to interact with these empires, to create a bond and a link, to create these alliances or have to go to war with them.
What was really important for Diplomacy was the stories that players would tell each other. If you look at, say, the First World War, what happened, it wasn't a direct engagement immediately. There was a lot of people getting roped in, alliances playing off against each other, negotiations. So, in order to be historically authentic, we needed to add a little bit more, more tools in the player's toolbox. Things like bribe or propose, threaten, demand. We want things to feel, nicely immediate. We don't want to have sort of a round-robin vote of everyone deciding what to do. We want you to get feedback interactions to make things feel nicely quick, immediate, impactful. Your civilization needs resources in order to build units, to build infrastructures, and to boost its economy. You can acquire these resources either
Yo creo que el concepto me gustaría, pero visualmente no me gusta.
Exploiting them yourself, or you can buy them from another civilization.
When a civilization's choices create a situation that is deemed offensive or otherwise unacceptable by another, a grievance is generated. Transferring control of a border territory, paying a sum of money, changing a law or religion, joining a war, and so on. If the demand is refused, it can be used to justify declaring a war or breaking an alliance.
Once two civilizations have declared war, they'll need to think about their population's support for this war, or morale. This is a value that will tend to decrease over time because people get fed up with fighting a conflict. You can also damage the other side's morale by winning battles against them, by occupying their cities. In humankind, your empire's choices with regards to events and the civics that you choose will define your empire's ideology. So depending on these choices, they'll have an ideology that will be defined. Based on this proximity, it will be more or less difficult to go to war or to sign peace treaties. So, for instance, two civilizations that are very close will have trouble maintaining a war, but it will be a lot easier to sign treaties because the populations feel a certain sort of brotherhood.
In the diplomacy of humankind, the possibilities are endless. You want to create a culture that will attract the sympathy of all these other empires? Will you be feared by your neighbors? It's up to you to decide how you will mark history as a leader.
Bueno, pues mira, como en esto de gestión, sega, qué susto. Un Yakuza.
Okay, that one I can't wait to get my hands on.
What
have we got coming up next, Nicole?
Our next game was the breakout star of last month's PlayStation State of Play. To tell us more about the limb-snapping kung fu combat of Sifu, please welcome developers Slow Clap.
Hi, I'm Pierre. I'm from Slow Clap Studio, an independent game studio based in Paris, France. In Sifu, you play the role of a young kung fu student who is on a path for revenge after his whole family was assassinated by a squad of 5 mysterious assassins, and you will be on the hunt for the assassins of your family through 5 main environments. And as you move through these levels, you will have to use every tool at your disposal, whether it's your kung fu skills or everything that's in the environment to survive and prevail in dangerous combat situations.
Están mostrando un poco más.
So you may have seen our real trailer in the recent State of Play, and today we're excited to share some more information about the game regarding combat. As you progress through the game, you encounter 5 bosses who are all connected to you and who are basically the assassins of your family. These 5 bosses have been inspired by Kung Fu values and the 5 elements of Chinese mythology. So this is wood, fire, water, metal, and earth.
5 elementos.
As you saw in the trailer, when your character dies, he revives instantly where they fell, and when your character revives, your character will age every time. Kung Fu means literally mastery through practice, and this is really an important theme of the game because we want players to feel like they've learned Kung Fu as they've played the game and like actually gain this mastery.
Resucitas, pero como que eres más
viejo, Sifu is meant
como si hubiera sido
to be a challenging game.
Siendo un maestro, ¿no?
There is a limit to how much you can age, of course.
Como si hubieras mejorado,
we'll be discussing more about what exactly happens when you do have that game over in the coming weeks and months prior to launch. Sifu will be released in 2021 on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and on the Epic Game Store.
Quiero ver exactamente cómo es la pelea, ¿sabes? Porque sí, visualmente se ve, pero es que en plan, no creo que sea spameando un botón, es que tendrás que bloquear, tendrás que, ¿sabes? Medir los tiempos, supongo. ¿Qué cantidad de botones hay?
Whoa, Nicole, come on. Look, we can't end it there.
No, por
In true
favor.
Resident Evil
Sí,
fashion,
venga.
there's always got to be one final
Que me la
boss,
suda el Resident Evil. Que me suda el huevo, tío.
Yeah, I can find one more surprise. Roll the tape.
El 8. Ah, Kena. Ah, mira, ese estaba guay. Ese también le dimos en la de Sony.
You sense the power that flows through this land. Yet you do
Ese
not
juego este que parece de
fully
Pixar.
understand it.
Parece que fueron de frames, pero es que cuando pega como que se ralentiza, ¿no? O son pares de frames de verdad. Hombre, este pinta guay. Mira el bichillo que es algo. Va creciendo. Alguien tiene un huevo de esos. Como que cuando pegas, no sé si me llega a gustar, porque parece un par de frames, pero bueno. Bonito es un puto huevo este juego, ¿sabes? Qué guapo, qué lindo de esto. Eso no, caca. Sí, ¿no? Cuando son las tarjetas sufre un poco. Vale, esa sensación. A ver. Y que eso pase en un tráiler cinemático, más o menos, pues... Sí, pero bueno, pinta bastante guay.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Special thank you to Nicole, and a very, very special thank you to the amazing developers who helped make this happen.
You can head over to the Future Game Show page on Steam to add your favorite games from today's show to your wish list. And don't forget to check out GamesRadar.com for all of your news, guides, and features.
I'm Jeff Shine.
And I'm Nicole Tompkins. And this has been the third Future Game Show.
Joder, el War, que cogió Thierry ese juego, tío. Y este Warhammer, a ver, es que no han mostrado nada, han mostrado ahí una cinemática más cortilla. Que es como, mira, soy el malote. Bueno, han presentado cosillas curiosas. Este me ha llamado la atención, el de recoger los muertos. El Sifu este puede estar muy guay. El de Zombieland me ha dado un poco de cringe. Este no me ha convencido del todo. El de las naves, el de naves. Este no está mal. Este pinta juego. Este juego cuando salga lo va a petar. Y este está guay, el Survive este. Bueno, pues ya está. Pues se ha acabado. Ya está, y nada más aquí, ¿no? Ya se ha terminado. Bueno. Voy a poner el tráiler del de Gollum, el que han lanzado, creo que es tío de hoy. antes, ¿no? De ayer. Bueno, ayer, día 24. Sí. Vale. Que es cortito, que es 1 minuto. No me llega a convencer el diseño que le han hecho. Así como un poquito cartoon. Pero, bueno. Pues esto es, parece que es como de sigilo y tal, a ver que se vea bien el gameplay y esas cosas. Al final todo esto hay que esperar siempre. Pues nada, pues me he quedado con el Kena S, que es exclusivo creo que de Sony, así que pues a tomar por culo. A ver si Sony va haciendo movimientos para acercarse a PC. Porque no voy a comprar una consola para jugar a 4 juegos, ¿vale? Ey, pues ya está, pues ya se terminó. No hay mucho más. No, ya estaba bien, ¿eh? Llevo aquí 1 hora y media viendo videojocos que la mayoría no me interesan. Porque ya te digo, me quedo con el Kena S, que es como de... creo que era exclusivo de Sony, así que paso a comprar una puta consola para jugar a 4 juegos que van a sacar exclusivos. Así que... no. Luego voy a poner esto un poco así. Ya. Ahí, vale. Y luego me quedo así con algún indie curiosete como el Survive o el Action Verge 2 o tal, pero así por lo demás, no sé, no me ha convencido gran cosa. Tengo que pegar un repaso a ver de todo lo que hemos visto, porque así como un atracón de cosas increíble. Vale, si queréis, sí. Vamos, si estoy, pues sí. Uy. Me voy a ir a la cama, que estoy reventadísimo. Así que nada, paro la grabación